Mr. Michael Riley said before. And my problem is, and my question is about the education system. And I have been just made aware that there is going to be a $700 million budget cut in the education system. And I'm also aware that you have projects like the subway safety plan under Act, and I just want to know and become aware why the education system is the first thing to get cut. Because the education system is the foundation of everything there is to do in New York. And so if we want to stop crime, I think that we should start at the roots of education. And so I just want to know, why is the education system being cut first?
Okay, who I have for DOE, because I'm not going to debate. So I'm going to let the DOE talk, but I do want to share this. How many of you are homeowners, own a home? Okay. Think about this for a moment. You budget yourself for the year. I budget myself for the year. All of a sudden you have an emergency, your roof caves in. You go to your insurance company and you tell them, listen, my roof caved in, I've been paying my insurance all this time, and the insurance company say, you know what, we're not paying. You have to take money from somewhere in your budget to fix that roof. That's what happened to our city. We've been sending taxes to Washington for years, sending more than we get back. The migrant asylum seeker issue happened and give us a $4 billion roof cave-in tag. That's out of our budget. And then we have to say to ourselves, okay, we have to pay this, but we have to balance the budget. But not only that, just with the education piece, the previous administration put in place permanent programs like pre-K, 3K, summarizing, and a whole list of others that was made out of stimulus dollars. They knew the dollars was going to sunset. But they said, no, we're going to be gone. And so I had to deal with the sunsetting to keep the programs open. I had to deal with a $4 billion roof cave-in price tag. And then I had to do what others didn't do, because I heard it from you guys a lot. I had to settle outstanding union contracts because we were not paying our civil service a decent salary. And one of the major ones that had a 13-year outstanding contract were our ferry boat operators. You used to stop me all the time and say, Eric, settle that contract. And we settled the ferry boat operator contracts. 94% of our contracts we settled and gave them a salary that was deserving. So we had sunsetting costs for the programs that the previous mayor put in place that sunsetted, we had to pick up the cost for. We had a $4 billion price tag for migrants and asylum seekers. We had to pay our union contract because our police officers were not being paid the salary they deserved, and we were imaging and losing them, but we were able to get a 96 ratification rate based on the contract we settled with our police officers, our firefighters, our teachers at UFT, our DC-37 employees. We gave them the life that they could have so they don't have to flee the city. So all of that came at once. But we were able to look at the DOE, and we said, like you said, we said pre-K and 3K is too important because that's the beginning of life and we need to do a better job with our children. We reinstated the money for that. We said the summarizing program that allowed children to go to school all year round, we reinstated the money for that. Then we did something else. I'm dyslexic. We did the dyslexic screening so that we don't have children who are dyslexic believe they're dumb, like I was told I was. They can get the help they need earlier. 30 to 40%, that's why you were so accurate, 30 to 40% of the inmates at Rikers Island are dyslexic. Since they didn't get what they needed, they left school, had a life of crime, and they ended up in jail. If we do what you said, let's start early and give people children the support they need, they won't go through a life of crime. Now, talking about the $700 million, what's the dollar that the young lady said? What's your name? Sorry.
Anneliese.
That she's sharing.
Yes, Anneliese, I just want to say I appreciate a couple of things. First of all, debate is such an important skill to have, so thank you for that. And I'm happy to debate with you over the $700 million. So ask me the questions, I can bring them back to our financial officer to get those answers for you. You also have your superintendent at the table that you can ask the same questions. You can raise your hand. I also want to say the questions that you're asking are so important. Financial literacy starting at a young age is just as important as all of the other subjects that we learn. We can't have a plan and a dream if we can't fund it, right? So, and the mayor is correct. He was able to reinstate some of our programs that are so important, like summarizing, like pre-K and 3K, and even our community schools. But for you, one of the things that I'd love to talk to you about after this is that there is an opportunity to engage in conversations at the school level. We know that our stimulus money is not going to be here next year. And the questions to ask are, what were some of the sustainable programs that we built in our schools? And there were many that we have done, that when the money goes out, we can still continue to use some of our SEL programs, some of our counseling programs that are happening, and then have an opportunity to speak with your school leadership team, where budget is part of the conversation on a monthly basis to say, what are our goals, what do we have, and how can we look at the budget cuts that we have and still achieve that? So I'd love to connect with you after this meeting.
So there was no joy, trust me. These commissioners and representatives, my DMs here, this is probably one of the most painful periods for us. Because when you look at these the deputy mayors and these commissioners here, this is their life work. And to have to, when I sat down and spoke with them and tell them you have to find efficiencies to fix that roof, it was hard. There were some very tearful moments, there were some very painful moments. They felt as though they were betraying their life work. It was really hard on us. And the chancellor really felt that it was hard. And so the areas that we had to do efficiency was we wanted to minimize the pain. We knew 3K was important. We knew dyslexia screening was important. We knew summarizing was important. They made some tough decisions. Tough decisions. But we did not enjoy it at all. Thank you for your question.